Would it surprise you to learn that pit bulls used to be considered America's darlings? Before the 80s, pit bull attacks were non-existent. Pit bulls get a bad response from many people, but more often than not, they are the victims of stereotypes based off of irresponsible and abusive ownership. Today, I'm going to talk about some pit bulls' backgrounds, recent research on pit bulls' temperaments, and why they have received such a bad reputation. The term pit bull is a generic term used to describe dogs with similar physical characteristics. Usually, a pit bull is considered one of several dog breeds, including the American Pit Bull Terrier, the American Staffordshire Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, or any mix. Any dog that is mixed with a bully type breed may also be considered a pit bull. Pit bull is not a distinct breed, which can make it difficult for experts to identify. And while mixed breed dogs are often labeled as pit bull, but they have similar physical characteristics such as square head or bulky, muscular body. Far from being a four-legged killing machine, pit bulls seem to be an American favorite in the early half of the century. During World War I, the country itself personified a pit bull as a mascot on army recruitment posters, and several pit bulls went on to become famous in the American military. There was also a famous racehorse in the late 1930s named Pit Bull, as well as a number of pit bulls in the early motion pictures, like Petey from Little Rascals. All the this fame had soon turned to infamy by New Year's 1986. Over 30 communities are considering breed-specific legislation and bans on pit bulls. But what changed? For one thing, despite it being legal in all 50 states, dogfighting made a comeback in the 80s, and pit bull being the dog of choice, despite being bred originally as hunting dogs. People choose pit bulls as fighting dogs because of their tenacity, dedication to the job they're trained to do, and desire to please their owners, as well as them being very strong, dominant, and quick-moving dogs with an extra jaw muscle on the top of their head, giving them an extra strong bite. It is also the preferred guard dog for drug dealers and gangs, with the hugely publicized attack in 1987, which a pit bull guarding a large marijuana crop in California mauls and kills a 2-year-old girl. By summer of that year, every single proposed ban has now become law, but not necessarily of the sport of animal professionals. Kent Salazar, head of Albuquerque's Animal Control Division, commented at the time of the proposed ban on pit bulls that he didn't think the ban was necessary. His words went unheeded, and in New Mexico, just outside of Albuquerque, passed the toughest pit bull ban of all time, allowing animal control officers to destroy them on site without compensation for the owner. Various pit bull breed bans are deceived by animal control officials as the most concentrated legal assault on the pit bull that they can recall, as well as canine racism. The Houston Chronicle quotes, unnamed police officials placed the ban for a problem squarely on humans. Quote, many of pit bull attacks are due to skyrocketing number of poorly bred and badly trained dogs raised by backyard breeders who are trying to cash in on the pit bull's growing reputation as a cheap but effective guard dog, particularly in urban areas, unquote. According to the America's Temperament Test Society, in 2010 to 2011, 804 pit bull terriers were tested and 695 passed. This means that 86.4% of the pit bulls tested by the ATTS had a good temperament. Pit bull's pass rating was well above the average of 77%. The test is evaluated by 3 trained individuals and takes about 12 minutes. During the time, the dog is walked through a park or neighborhood where they experience visual, auditory, and physical stimuli. The dog will encounter neutral, friendly, and threatening situations to test so that the administrators can see if the dog can distinguish between threatening and non-threatening events. The dog automatically fails if it shows panic without recovery, strong avoidance, or unprovoked aggression. Some dogs with lower scores being the Golden Retriever, Border Collie, Chihuahua, Dalmatians, and Rottweilers. For over hundreds of years, holding the owners is personally responsible was enough to prevent attacks and perceived as a very child-friendly animal. With outreach and education, it may be possible to restore the image and rehabilitate the pit bull's reputation, restoring an iconic American dog to its rightful place among mankind's best friends.